Ladies and gentlemen, to quote Dr. Evil from the Austin Powers movies,
Why must I be surrounded by frickin' idiots?
and believe it or not, in real life, I too am surrounded by absolute morons. Case in point, a now ex-friend of mine decided to play the victim when I threw an ounce of truth back at him. And of course, this ex-male friend of mine wants to get access to my ex-female friends, or the current ones I'm actually friends with or may have gone out with for a couple of times. I find it very creepy when a friend of yours says, "Oh, you used to go out with so-and-so. Do you mind if I have a stab at them?" And I'm like, no, you can't do that, dude. Find your own women, mix with them. Because never in my life have I actually gone after my friends' exes or people they hang out with, because that's not my style. You should meet somebody organically out there and see if you have a common thread, a connection with them. Otherwise, what hope do we have left in the world, folks, if we're just relying on our friends and their leftovers for you to have a go at? It doesn't make any sense. But you know who's not a moron and who want insufferable freakazoids? You guys out there. You guys are the best. You are my favorite audience. And the last few videos I've released on this channel have actually sent my subscriber rate going not through the roof, but look, we're over 10,300 at the moment. I want to get to 10,500 by the weekend. So let's do it, folks. Let's get into it and let's play today's video. And I know you love this Jill Valentine AI creation right here. So do I, because the attention to detail, folks, is a little bit too alarming. But today we have got a very, very special video for you. Woo! Yep, we are talking about the decline of Western video gaming and how South Korea, for some reason, seems to be the bastion, not bastion, you moronic idiots out there who don't know how to speak English, seems to be the crown jewel even as I speak.
Flashing through the sky, he's a go-go guy. Stronger than a train with a so-so brain. He's fearless, careless, a little too careless.
Approved by 1970s Robert Redford.
So when it comes to the smoothest of smoothest transitions, it's my friend again from game developer Brian Francis. You know who he is. I've spoken about him before. Have I misgendered you, Brian? I'm so sorry, dude, because on his X profile, credit to the guy, he has not blocked me. I don't have a beef with him. I find his articles absolutely hilarious. I think he's hilarious, actually, but he's the senior editor at gamesdev.com. He, him, followed by multicolored hearts. Oh my God, Bryant, you never let me down. But he wrote an interesting article on the 14th of August. Korean devs report a burst of interest in single-player console and PC games. Now, just touching on the last part, some of you commented yesterday on my Black Myth Wukong final trailer reaction about the free benchmark tool. Why is it only assigned to Steam? Why not the other consoles? I think the answer to that is because Steam has a higher spec to go with it, in terms of it knows what kind of GPU you have and how you can get the best out of it. You know that old saying, can it run Crysis 3, whatever. But I think the reason is because this Series X and the PlayStation 5 have high specs to them. I think Game Science are confident that the game will run smoothly on that. I think if you want the best ultra experience, then if you're using Steam, that's the reason why they've done it. But I can certainly understand some of the concerned comments I saw in my video from yesterday, like, oh, I don't use Steam, I think it sucks. And that's entirely fine. I mean, I've got a love-hate relationship with Steam, so I'm not too bothered by that. The only reason why I'm actually on Steam, I've got friends on there, and I do actually want to push the graphics card capabilities of my GPU to see how far they go. So apart from that, I do understand the concerns, but this to me is encouraging because Western video gaming is dying. No matter what people out there will tell you, it is absolutely dying. So developers at Pearl Abyss, Round 8 Studio, Shift Up, and other studios say devs and players in the region want to break out of the free-to-play markets. So at a glance, from Bryant's, South Korean game developers have traditionally focused on releasing free-to-play online titles on PC and mobile devices. But after a surprise slate of single-player successes, devs say that trend may be shifting. Again, this is a bit of an ignorant paragraph because Bryant Francis knows exactly why this shift has happened. Again, when you get people like Dreamcast Guy who says to you on his channel, you know Dreamcast Guy Max, he has the excruciating close-ups of his face. It certainly needs a bit of L'Oreal hyper energetic cream to put it back into place.
People want blood. The audience, especially in the gaming space, it does feel like they are negative by default. It does feel like more games are in more controversies and getting more hated before they even have a chance to really show themselves, you know?
Yes, but this is the thing, right, Max? You know that people don't like Star Wars Outlaws because of the terrible graphics. And in fact, it doesn't really even feel like a Star Wars game. AC Shadows bringing in Yasuke as the Black Samurai protagonist, who a lot of historians have pushed back on and said, no, that is not what the guy was all about. Yet he doesn't acknowledge infiltration groups like Sweet Baby Stink, all the others, Bridge.com. He ignores all of that and pretends that everything through rose-tinted glasses is A-okay. In the final issue of Game Informer, developers at multiple studios like Round 8 Studio, Shift Up, and Pearl Abyss are seeing signs that players at home and abroad are attracted to single-player experiences. I can't imagine why. So after LeBlanc reached out to some developers, he came to this conclusion. But why are they making the jump? There wasn't one clear answer. Yes, it's called TNA. Instead, a constellation of factors seem to be driving the shift. But those stars all orbit the same planet. Is that Uranus, Bryant Francis? That players buying games on console and PC are hungry for fresh experiences. Well, that part is true. That last line is absolutely spot on, because nobody wants to buy Concord. Nobody wants to play Flintlock. They may have done so if they didn't get the ESG DEI experience. It's so sad to see a country like Japan is now looking for that extra cash. They don't need it. Why on earth does it think that those particular ingredients from Larry Fink are going to make their IPs better? Again, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, that suffered from the Sweet Baby Ink treatment, didn't it? But here we go, folks, the Dustborn review from IGN. And I think I called it correctly on a previous video where I said they'll probably give this a 7 or a 7.5 out of 10. And they did. They gave it a resounding 7, which I thought was absolutely predictable. Have some patience, and this punk comic book caper will win you over with its weirdos. Of course it will. It's a very, I don't know if the comment section are out here, they're even asking now, which guitar game do you want to see make a triumphant return? The answer is none of them, actually. Not my sort of thing. There you go. It's a good game. Dustborn brings angst to a comic book caper about an alternate reality America where Marilyn Monroe apparently is the first lady and JFK is absolutely buried 6 feet under. And you'll get an emotional ride with a few exciting punk performances if you stick with it through a slow start by Rachel Weber or Weber, because you have to get a chick to review this game, right? You can't get a man who'd give it the absolute thumbs down. But over on Metacritic, well, it paints a little different story, folks. So the overall score is 67, mixed or average, based on 16 critic reviews. Yesterday when I saw this, it was at 68%, so I find it interesting. So Guardian, interestingly enough, likes to trip over its own farts and narrative. they've given it a 60, but what they said here was the underlying issue with Dustborn is the balancing act between serious topics and the supernatural, as well as its clear desire to alternate between fun moments, activism, and drama, a balance it ultimately can't hit. So a publication, very left-leaning Guardian, actually has problems with the way those points were delivered in a video game that should not have those points in the first place, right? For example, a tragedy for an entire community is followed by a birthday party for a raccoon, which actually I think sounds hilarious. I had a better time once I stopped taking it seriously, because the standout moments happen when Dustborn leans, into the left, into the silliness of its supernatural storyline. With Dustborn, you may expect a tense trek across the US, but what you really end up with is the equivalent of an interactive Marvel movie, and that's A-OK. Thanks, Guardian. Don't call us. We'll definitely not call you. Wow, that was, and they still gave it 60. That's incredible. RPG fan, Dustborn is a game with a lot going for it, especially if you're a fan of choice-heavy narrative adventures. I am, that's why I play or replay Mass Effect 2 a lot, and the first game as well. So yeah, if you look at Games Radar, Dustborn is a unique visual novel style adventure. Oh, stop it, you. And even a rhythm game to its sometimes intense choice-driven dystopian world, where your decisions matter. By the way, South Korea has actually bought Tango Gameworks Studios, so that's good actually. I'm kind of wondering if they're going to revive Hi-Fi Rush. It may happen, it may not, but there you go, folks. Western video gaming, and everybody thinks, oh, it's doing great, it's pioneering, it's making moves. No, it's not. It definitely isn't. And I want to visit this channel right here, Enfant Terrible. I don't know how they got this compilation, if it was sent to them, but we're going to run through the most insane Korean single-player games coming out this year and next year as well. So let's have a run through. All right, I know Nexon. Obviously, this is a very long video, so I'm just going to whiz through it very quickly. Oh, yes. I just seen a preview of a game I've already reacted to. What's this one? Project V. And not every single South Korean game is going to have a busty female in the lead, as much as it pains me to say that, but yeah. This looks wild. Not because it's a tiger, it just looks wild. Are you going to turn into a human tiger? I guess not.
No animal deserves cruelty.
Listen, that's a cat actor. That's not a real cat. All right, don't know why that happened. I'm watching a cat and a cat advert came up. That's peculiar. I mean, I want to point out the obvious here, folks. In Star Wars Outlaws, as K-Vez, you're so overpowered, your enemies can't attack you. But this tiger is giving his warrior a run for his money. That's the whole point about video games, to stimulate your brain, to give you a challenge, right? That looks really good. I'm just going to skip past that. I mean, it's challenging combat. Hopefully it's not like Final Fantasy VII where you spend an hour killing a boss. I can't take that nonsense. It's too much. Yep, I saw this already. That looks good. Project TH. Yeah, quite a few of these South Korean titles have projects in the title because they obviously haven't thought of a name yet. I mean, look at that. Wow. A beautiful South Korean woman, right, folks? In the West, we wouldn't have that. We'll just have Imari from Concord. This looks like a film noir type of video game.
당신은 뭐라고 할까?
어? 나 죽어야 하는 거야?
아니.
Man, the detail on her face is incredible.
You have entered the
그럼 내가 복수해줄까?
아니.
아니야?
하지 마.
Again, the thing I'll trust with South Korean games, they've got stunning cutscenes, but the final gameplay looks like it'll match up to what we've seen. Crimson Desert. Yes, I've seen quite a few previews of this. This looks insane. And I'm not being funny, if you've been to Japan and Himeji Castle, so much better than the boring old castles we have in the UK. The Japanese had a lot more imagination. I know this is a South Korean montage I'm reacting to, but man, Japan has some amazing castles. And again, this is South Korea's love affair with English mythology. Look at her, wow, damn. It's not about realism, ladies and gentlemen, it's about fantasy. So yes, you can have beautiful hot women in a medieval style game. Why not? I'm all for it. Yep, the traditional fishing part of any Asian game. The Relic First Guardian, let's have a look at you on Unreal Engine 5. Looks a bit like Shadow of the Colossus. I'll say one thing about South Korean games, they really know how to promote and market their stuff. I mean, these have been in development for quite a few years, and look how far they've come. But in Western video Gen Z gaming, it's like, I don't want to come into work, I don't know what to create, I've got writer's block. Again, this is an example of a game I would not be interested in, but it looks nice, the art style is very captivating. Oh, I wish I was a kid again. Best time of your life, right? Oh, do I know this game? Hang on a second. I think this is an online title. I might be wrong. But no, this is not. This is a single player game. So hopefully, yeah, it's single player offline. Oh, yes, I have seen this. This looks really good. Oh, I know this game. It's DokeV. Hey, you know me. Yeah, the vibe of this game looks absolutely insane. In fact, if I just take it back one notch here. Yeah, so this part here reminds me of Electric Town in Japan. Obviously, this is South Korea, so it's obviously one of their colorful districts. But I remember this game dropped last year, and people were just like, looks good, but I don't know if DokeV is the one for me. But I tell you what, this is a single player experience. I mean, I hope it is. They are saying it's a single player game, but I'm wondering if it's a single player online only. I hope not, but I'll double check afterwards. Really funky, vibey soundtrack. I love it. I could have sworn I just saw Spider-Man's face on here, but I might be wrong. Yep, responsible crossing the pedestrian roads. I love it. This looks like a lot of fun. It really absolutely does. Again, I reiterate, ladies and gentlemen, you'll never see Western gaming, even for kids, looking like this. The colors, I mean, in 4K, this thing looks absolutely insane on my screen. It really does. DokeV. What I like about this trailer It just captures a lot of childhood innocence. I really like that. That's what you kind of feel when you watch this gameplay. Oh, look at that. You even have diversity, ladies and gentlemen. So people who say that some sections of the eastern regions of, or should I say the Asian regions, such as China and South Korea, don't incorporate diversity, quite clearly we have it right here. Not forced in your face, they are there. I imagine there might be a character, maybe an NPC or someone that you can interact with much later on. It's an open world adventure by Pearl Abyss. Let's have a look. Multiplayer video game universe. That's why I was a bit, why did it have to be? But it might still be fun. So I don't know, it could be good. If it was like a offline experience, I might have been a bit more excited for it. But you know what? I might give it a try. If they do a play test for it in due course, I might give it a try. It looks like a lot of fun, actually, I've got to say. What do you think, Jill? Are you satisfied, or are you just ready for another session with yours truly in the next few minutes? She's such a naughty girl, and that's why I like her so much. So there you have it, folks. A bit of a in-depth dive into South Korean video games coming out this year and next year. I'm looking forward to it. Western video gaming is well and truly buried 6 feet under. It's never going to make a comeback. Yeah, you got Call of Duty Black Ops 6 coming out in the next couple of months. I don't really care for that. I might take a peek at the single player campaign online, but the problem with these Call of Duty games now is that you buy them and then the actual game might not be on the disc and you have to download it offline, which means you still don't actually own a physical disc of the game, which is annoying. It's not like the original OG Modern Warfare series back in the day where you bought the game on disc, you put it in, and you could play straight away. Now it's like 100 gig download or something ridiculous like that. Games are too big these days, they're too expensive, which is why I've just lost a lot of patience, which is why I'm looking at I'm concentrating more on the Southeast Asian market and China as well, because definitely their games won't be too expensive and you might get more bang for your buck. And on that one, ladies and gentlemen, if you were me and if I were you, you might want to come back for the next video.
Don't let your dreams be dreams. Dream of me. I'll make your dreams come true. Everything's possible with me.